Hi, my name is Wire Destroyer, and this is a chicken, and I'm gonna show you how to build a tree stump starter base. You're gonna need a bunch of wood, any type will work. I'm gonna use jungle logs, and once you've got the logs, convert them into wood. That's how you do that. Now find a flat chunk of land and destroy it. And now that you left your footprint on the environment, it's time to start building. So first let's flatten the land a bit. Now when it comes to flattening dirt, I find it best to go along the curve and slowly chip away at the blocks. This way you flatten the area while also keeping it a bit more natural. And do the same for placing dirt. And now we make the framework to the tree stump. So you want to start off with one of the tips of the roots, go to the next step, and then wrap around. And do this until you've reached the other side. And when you encounter a cliff face, you can actually break the block or even go above it, because trees are natural. And you should have something that looks like a cobweb. Don't worry about it looking bad, just trust the process. And if you feel like something doesn't look good, just break the block and place it somewhere else. Now take a step back, and if you feel like you don't like something, like for example, I don't like this gap here, just add more and break off what you don't like. I'm thinking let's keep this as the entrance. And now you want to build the next layer, for which you avoid typically 2 or 3 of the roots, that's out the outer edge, and then just fill in the rest. So just build like this. You want to create a kind of staircase feeling and just build 1 block up so that you can climb on it. The key with natural builds is to just let it flow. Don't think too much about it. You don't like it, just break it and replace it. Again, you don't like something, just break it and take a step back. And as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Now you want to repeat this until you reach your desired height. Now as trees grow taller, you'll notice that they go upwards and then they go straight up. So at this point, you're okay to start placing 2 blocks at a time. And right around here, let's close this off so that we have our designated entrance to the base. Now at this point, it's up to you to decide if your tree remains a tree trunk or actually grows all the way. And by that I mean you need to fix the build height. 5 more blocks up? Yeah, that sounds about good. Now in terms of the actual top of the tree stump, you could choose to leave it uneven like this and have a cap in the center. Or you can flatten everything out to the same level. That choice is entirely up to you. Feel free to get a bit creative. Again, just take a step back. Feel free to add blocks if you feel like it's going to make the build look better. Now to prevent dying from phantoms if you don't sleep 3 nights in a row, you want to cap this off. And what makes more sense than using stripped wood? There we go, that's perfect. Now don't be afraid to get experimental and try different blocks. For example, you can make a ring on the top by using brown mushroom blocks. The only limit here is your imagination. Now like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings, I'm just going to keep the 1 ring. And while building, this is kind of important, you might want to just place a few torches around. Unless you're an absolute pro of the game, I don't think you want to dive to Minecraft mobs while you build. Just adding a few more touches here and there. And the next step is detailing. So replace a few of the dirt blocks with some wood, and if you don't like how it looks, just remove it and let it be how it was. The key to detailing is always trial and error. There we go, now our build actually looks like it's part of the ground. Now if you want to make your tree stump look more dynamic, place a few bushes around, connect the leaves, going up towards the tree stump. So it looks like a bunch of vines have been growing. And as always, don't feel afraid to break the stuff if you don't like it. I actually don't like this, so I'm going to remove it because I feel like it's a bit too much. There we go, that's much better. Sometimes a little can do a lot, you know? Now next you want to get a bunch of moss and start placing the carpets sparingly around and on the tree roots. And if you have a water body nearby, it could make sense that there's more moss growth right near the bottom here. So even like place a few moss blocks in the grass and bone meal them. That can make a whole lot of difference to having a base that looks good and a base that's just made out of wood. Yes, that rhymed. And don't be afraid to keep a little bit of moss on the top here. You know, moss can grow anywhere. And place them in clumps like this so they don't look too messy. Just removing these moss blocks because I don't like the way they look. Now a shovel can make one of the most underrated blocks in the game, which is the path block. Just place a few patches around your tree. Just add a little bit, not too much because it's a bit bright anyway. Now try to avoid 90-degree angles like these, because having them connected through this one gap makes it look a whole lot better. And this is completely optional, but since I'm living in a jungle biome, I'm going to add a few vines here, especially at the front of the entrance, which is going to look amazing. Now when it comes to placing vines, you don't want to place too many on top because they can grow and spread. Just place a few again in clumps, and eventually over time they will grow. Getting rid of things you don't like is always a good option. So if I was in a spruce biome, I would place a bunch of these ferns around and bone meal them to make tall ferns. But since I'm in a jungle biome, I'm going to use the vines. But you could still use a few more ferns, you know. A good build has a few details. Now that it's turning nighttime, it's evident we need some light sources. Now we could use shroom lights, but if shroom lights are too expensive for you, just place a few lanterns around the base. You can even hide them under the carpets if you don't want to see them. Or place some fences and place lanterns hanging from there. You can even place fences on top with the lantern. And now that the outside's done, it's time to get started on the inside. You can use whatever floor you like. For example, you could use planks, you could use the logs, you can even use the stripped logs, which would tie the roof and the bottom together. But I'm going to use plain planks. And now after this, you can start on making a pattern, or you can just go random. Even using stairs in few places, a few slabs, and even trapdoors. The best part about the trapdoors is you can actually keep anything under here or even make an underground base. For me, the best use is probably light sources. As always, take a step back. You don't like anything, get rid of it. Sometimes too much can be overbearing, you know. Now that makes all the difference, but it still looks a bit too flat. So we're going to cut off one side and increase the height of the build. You can get rid of these blocks and place them on top. I'm just going to place it on top since I'm creative. And add some detailing. And on this side, what you could do is place a few logs going straight up all the way to the ceiling. Place some ladders and make a second floor using half slabs. And you can even replace a few of these with trapdoors to let some light through. Now you can close this off, place a bunch of fences. Again, break any blocks that you think are in the way. And add more ladders if you want to access the roof. Just break this block. And now you have access to the roof where you can guide your base. If you place, let's say, a few stairs there, you can look around. And for extra security, just place a trapdoor up there. Now this place needs a few windows. For example, this could be a window. Now if you want to make a double-sided window, just go outside, place the block back, place two trapdoors like so, close them up, and go back inside and then break that block, and you'll now have a double-sided window. And we can finish this up with the special window over here. Now I actually don't like this, so I'm just going to replace these with the regular wood. So first make a hole, place two upside down stairs and place two regular stairs facing each other, so you have a small hole there. Go on to the back and place trapdoors up and below, so when you close them, you've got a big window. And now let's turn this tree stump build into a tree stump base. So my recording software crashed, but I did finish the interior. So base is only complete with the exterior being complete, so I added a bunch of trees to sort of isolate this area. Every base needs a source of food, so I added a wheat farm. I also added a boat dock, so you can get in a chessboat and go on adventures. And now for the interior. As you can see, over here we've got the crafting side with a bunch of chests, a barrel, the smelting section, upgrade your tools, a gentle reminder of what's outside. There's even opportunity for hidden trapdoors because I used buttons here. And we've got the main storage area here. And if you want to expand, I've used one of the trapdoors to make some ladders, so you can go down and build an even bigger base. Every base needs an enchanting setup, so that's what we've got over here with some lapis, some books, a bottle of enchant, and it's also level 30. I thought the roof was a bit plain, so I added some slabs and some trapdoors, some buttons as well. And it's important to not add contrast, but to just add a little bit of detail by using the same type of block sometimes. And the elephant in the room, these green particles that you see here are from that spur blossom that I've hidden up here. They just bring this place to life. Now it's time for the main place where you rest. As you can see, we've got a bed with a window, a respawn, a recovery compass for when you die, which is unlikely, and you need to find your stuff. An armor stand with some backup armor or your main armor. We even got some windows here so you can look outside and scope out the enemies or just appreciate nature. And as you can see, I've added some trapdoors here so it doesn't feel flat, and it also lets in a bit of light from above. And there's a bunch of space here where you can put whatever you need. Maybe you can even tame a dog and make a doghouse. But that's the base. Now leave a like, that will help YouTube suggest this to other people who want to build similar stuff. And if you want me to build anything else, let me know down in the comments and I shall build it. And don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you later. Goodbye.